Finalization video. I got a request in the comments of one of my videos to make a level 3 character instead of stopping at level 1 like I usually do, because as that person pointed out, customization mostly comes in at level 3 generally, and so that's where you can really personalize your character. And I was wary of making such videos because I was afraid they might be too long, but they assured me people who watch ASMR usually take a long time to fall asleep and have plenty of time to watch this kind of video, which is fair. I know about that, so I thought, why not try it? To try to cut a little bit of the time of this video, I will allow myself to edit it. I'll try to make sure it's as smooth and as fluid as I can, so it isn't jarring, but I don't know anything about the character I'm about to create. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to just look up the right rules for the classes and the races and backgrounds I'm going to roll today. So, to avoid too much of a empty space in this video, I will edit out those long empty segments. I hope you will excuse me for this little trickery. But with that said, let's start already. I have my trusty old character sheet, and I do have my dice here. I'm missing one. There it is. So I have my D12 for classes. I have my percentile dice for the race, and I have my D10 for the background. So we're gonna roll as always to see what our character is. So let's waste no more time. Okay. So first things first, our class on the D12. We have a Barbarian. Barbarian is gonna be pretty fun. It's not something I play a lot, but I have played a few and I always enjoy that playstyle of being just a big ball of hit points. Okay, next our race is a 50, which is going to be human. So, a human barbarian. And our background, oh, that's an interesting one. It's gonna be hermit. A barbarian hermit is not something you see every day, but but you know, it can definitely work. Alright, so we have the backbone of our character, or at least the foundation. Now I'm gonna take just a second to go look everything up. Okay, so I prepared everything I need to complete our, at least the beginning of our character. So, let's start with our human side, our race, feats, and abilities. So, the first thing is our age, which I don't have any place to write, but considering we have a hermit, I feel like an older human would fit better. Maybe someone who had troubled younger years, but now feels more like having a bit more of a contemplative life. So probably a bit older of an adventurer. Our size does not really matter to me, but the speed is 30 feet. Base speed. So, as it is much more interesting and allows for much more customization, which is the point of this video, we are gonna pick the variant human. It's gonna allow us to increase 2 ability scores by 1, allow us to gain proficiency in 1 skill of our choice, and gain 1 feat, which is gonna be very interesting. But first, to do that, we do have to roll our stats. So that's what we are going to do now. As usual, I'm gonna use the 4d6 method. So I roll 4d6. Pretty self-explanatory there. But I add up only the highest 3 numbers I get. Which means if I get, let's say, 3 4s and a 1, well, I do not take the 1 and I add up 4 plus 4 plus 4, which would give me 12. So that's what we're gonna do, and let's get started. Okay, well, speaking of 12, we have 5 plus 4 plus 3. We forget the 1. So that's gonna be 12. I think 12 is the average you can expect to get with this method, which is pretty nice. I feel like 12 makes you feel relevant in most situations. You don't have very, very low stats anywhere usually, but a +1 modifier is not anything busted, you know. So I feel like it gives pretty good results, a little bit higher generally than the standard array, I believe, but I do like to feel powerful in my D&D games. Okay, here we have a 13. Having a couple of odd numbers is gonna be, well, it's not gonna be too bad here because we're gonna be able to increase 2 abilities by 1, rounding them up to an even number and getting a better modifier. So it's not too bad if we roll 1 or 2 odd numbers here. Okay. It's not going to do well right now at this point. After my first 3 rolls, I would like to have at least one ability that's a 15 or a 16, so I know I have at least one ability that I can have for my main ability score, but sometimes, you know, the dice are not always in your favor. We still have 3 to go, so let's see. Well, that's a bit better already. That's gonna be a 14. At least a +2. At least. But a +3 ability would be very... it would be very good to have for the main stat. Nope, that's a 10. Oh boy. Let's hope for a good one on the last roll. That's a 12. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, we're gonna be kind of a jack of all trades, it seems here, because we don't have anything very high, but we have a lot of abilities which are gonna have a +2 modifiers when we take the 13s and add 1 to them. So we're probably gonna have to use our first ability score increases on our main core ability. Okay, so here we definitely want our strength to be high, our constitution too, as we are barbarians, so I'm gonna put the 14 in here. I'm gonna put a 14 in constitution with a 13 +1. And next, a hermit. What would a hermit have as a good ability? That's a tough question. I think a good wisdom here is gonna be what we want with our 13 +1. The rest, I'm gonna take better charisma than intel, and I'm gonna take a little bit of dex. Okay, so that's a +2. A bit unfortunate. +1, +2. That's a 0 for intel, +2 for wisdom, and +1 for charisma. We can work with that. We can work with that. We are not gonna be the best on offense, but we have other abilities to counteract that. We gain a skill of our choice here with the variant human. And the first one I definitely want is perception. Because I feel like our barbarian, since they're not as strong as they used to be. They're gonna want to be prepared for a fight if anything was to happen. So, seeing the fight before it happens is gonna be important here, in my humble opinion. And we get a feat of our choice. What I was thinking of was taking Great Weapon Master, which is very standard for a Barbarian. And here I feel like it's very much a gamble. We are gonna hit very hard, but we don't have a lot of chances to hit because of our low strength. But when we do, it's gonna hit like a truck, which I find a bit poetic in some way, I guess. So, we're gonna take Great Weapon Master. Great Weapon Master. Okay. So, that is it for our human abilities. Next we can... Actually, I was thinking of jumping into Barbarian, but since we go to level 3, I think I'll keep that for the end and just do everything before we go into our class and then level ups. So I'm gonna go for Hermit first. We get skill proficiencies in medicine and religion, as well as herbalism kits. Herbalism kits. I see our passive wisdom. We already know that's gonna be a... Oh my god. There we go. Since we have a +2 proficiency bonus, we already know that's gonna be a 14. Wow, what's up with my writing today? Okay, 14, there we go. So, I filled that out. We have a scroll case stuffed full of notes from your studies and prayers. So, a scroll case. We have a winter blanket. Oh, nice, how cozy. Perfect for the season. A set of common clothes. Yeah, an herbalism kit. That's great. And 5 gold pieces. Okay. That's what we get for our hermit background. We also get a... Well, there's also the feature of the background, but I don't usually use them. They seem a bit... I wouldn't say irrelevant, but since I already use background and roleplay in my games to allow a lot of characters to do what the background's feature would do anyway, it's just not as relevant in my own games. So that does it for abilities. So let's take a look at what the Barbarian gives us. First, we get our hit points. So at level 1, that would be 12 plus Constitution modifier, so 14. Since we are level 3, we are gonna add 7 plus Constitution modifier per level. So that's gonna be 9. So 14 plus 9 is 23. Plus 9 is 32. I do believe this math checks out, but please let me know. When I'm doing these videos, I'm not as good as calculating as when I can just focus on it. But we have our max hit points and current. Well, assuming we're not in a fight. We also have our hit dice. 3d12, which we all have. We have proficiencies with light and medium armor and shields. A shield might be interesting. Oh, no, we have Great Weapon Master. It's not interesting. We have proficiencies with simple and martial weapons. We don't get any tool proficiencies. And we get strength and constitution saving throws. So we're gonna be able to fill that out right now. +4, +1, +4, 0, +2, and +1. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay. Next, we get 2 skills from animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, or survival. I'm wondering what would be best here. We already have perception. That's good. I think athletics would be very good here to help us with our suboptimal strength. So I'm gonna take that. And animal handling I think would be fun. We could have some kind of a menagerie of animals in our hermit retreat, which I feel like would be very fun and a very nice flavor for a barbarian who found peace in nature with the animals surrounding them. So that's what I'm gonna go for here. Our starting equipment, we get a great axe. A great axe. And 2 hand axes or a simple weapon. I think the 2 hand axes are gonna do the job quite nicely. We also get an explorer's pack. Explorer's pack. And 4 javelins. So this is a +4 4 to hit. Not great. 1d12 plus 2. Those are all plus 4 to hit. But these two are 1d6 plus 2. 1d6 plus 2. Okay, that's good for our equipment. Let's jump into our features. So of course we get Rage. The staple ability for the Barbarian. At level 3, we would have 3 rages. So 3 of 3 for now. Rage, for anyone who wouldn't know, is a bonus action which lets you rage for a minute. While raging, you have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain a bonus to damage that increases as you gain levels. Oh, actually, how many rages do I get? Yeah, I do have 3, and the bonus to the rage damage is plus 2. I just wasn't sure if I was getting those two mixed up. Okay, we get a bonus to damage of plus 2 at this level, so I'm gonna write this in attacks. Rage damage plus 2. And we also get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Alright. We regain our rage counter, I guess, when we finish a long rest. Our second ability is unarmored defense. Unarmored defense. Which makes our armor class, when we don't have armor, equal to 10 plus dexterity modifier plus constitution modifier. In this case, that's gonna be a 13. There we go. We can also fill in our initiative of plus 1. That would be it for level 1. At level 2, we get 2 abilities. The first one is Danger Sense. Danger Sense. It gives us advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that we can see. So if we see something coming at us, we are much more easily able to avoid it. We also gain reckless attacks, which I believe is gonna be crucial for our concept because it lets us hit more easily. When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attacks, but it also gives advantage to your opponents against you until your next turn. That makes you easier to hit, but you can hit your enemies easier. In our case, since we are already pretty easy to hit, but we take a massive amount of damage, I feel like the reckless attack is really gonna be crucial to tie everything together, because we really want to hit and finish the fight quickly. So, since the enemies are probably gonna hit us easily anyway, we don't mind giving them advantage if we can make sure that we hit them more often. I feel like, it can work out. Hopefully. That would be it for our second level. Next, at third level, we choose our Primal path. That's pretty much one of the biggest decisions for creating the character Aster in terms of customization and personalization, because it's really where it's your subclass, so it's what you will be specialized in as a barbarian. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paths coming from official sources, I would say. So we have the Ancestral Guardian, the Battle Rager, the Beast, the Berserker, Giant, Storm Herald, Totem Warrior, Wild Magic, and Zealot. A few of these I really like, and I could really see for our Hermit Barbarian. The Zealot, maybe the Ancestral Guardian, the Totem Warrior, I can see fitting that background very well. But I think they can all fit in the narrative, so I'm gonna roll for it. I'm gonna take a d10. There we go. And I'm just gonna go by the order they are listed here, which I believe is alphabetical. Looks like it. If I get a 10, I'll just re-roll. And with that, let's see what we get. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will be the Totem Warrior. Okay. So, Path of the Totem Warrior. And what do we get with that? Let's see. The Path of the Totem Warrior is a spiritual journey, as the barbarian accepts a spirit animal as guide, protector, and inspiration. In battle, your totem spirit fills you with supernatural might, adding magic fuel to your barbarian rage. Very interesting. I like that quite a lot, and I think it's very fitting with our hermit and animal handling, that kind of background I envisioned for our character. So it all works out. Okay, Spirit Seeker. Yours is a path that seeks attunement with a natural world, giving you a kinship with beasts. At third level, when you adopt this path, you gain the ability to cast Beast Sense and speak with animal spells, but only as rituals. So that's very good to have in our pocket. Baldur's Gate 3 really popularized Speak with Animals as a spell that can be really, really useful. So I'm quite happy with that, and I hope more and more DMs will allow it to be useful in their games. So I quite like that. Beast Sense I'm not quite as familiar with. Let's see what it does. I'm curious right now. You touch a willing beast. For the duration of the spell, you can use your action to see through the beast's eyes and hear what it hears, and continue to do so until you use your action to return to your normal senses. That's pretty neat. So, and it lasts for an hour. That's very nice. Quite like this. Okay, we have a totem spirit ability. Totem spirit. Okay, let's see. At 3rd level, when you adopt this path, you choose a totem spirit and gain its feature. You must make or acquire a physical totem object, an amulet or similar adornment that incorporates fur or feather, claw, teeth, or bones of the totem animal. At your option, you also gain minor physical attributes that are reminiscent of your totem spirit. For example, if you have a bear totem spirit, you might be unusually hairy and thick-skinned, or if your totem is the eagle, your eyes turn bright yellow. I quite like this kind of flavor they added in this ability. Your totem animal might be an animal related to those listed here, but more appropriate to your homeland. For example, you could choose a hawk or vulture in place of an eagle. Very interesting. Let's see our choices. Number 1, bear. While raging, you have resistance to all damage except psychic damage. The spirit of the bear makes you tough enough to stand up to any punishment, which might be very good in our case, since we're gonna be easy to hit. We want to be able to withstand it, and so I'll keep this one in mind, definitely. Number 2, the eagle. While you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, other creatures have disadvantage on opportunity attack rolls against you, and you can use the dash action as a bonus action on your turn. That's interesting, but I don't think it's really what I'm going for here. Elk. While you're raging and aren't wearing heavy armor, your walking speed increases by 15 feet. The spirit of the elk makes you extraordinarily swift. That's kind of funny, and I can see that working for some builds where mobility would be more important. Gosh, a barbarian monk combo with that could be absolutely insane, but I don't think this is really necessary here. The tiger. While raging, you can add 10 feet to your long jump distance and 3 feet to your high jump distance. Interesting, but not here. And the wolf. While you're raging, your friends have advantage on melee attacks against any creature within 5 feet of you that is hostile to you. So for those who know, it's pretty much the how's it called again? I don't remember, but basically, when you're near, it's easier to hit your enemies, which is very cool. But here, I think the bear totem is really what is most interesting for us. Because we do want to be able to survive while we dish out those big, strong hits with our great weapon master. So, and that does it. And with that, we would have a complete level 3 character. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I assume it's a little bit longer than the ones I made previously, but if you like those kind of longer videos, please let me know in the comments. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.